Hey everyone, I recently did a presentation on how to successfully get your business in the Google Maps section. And one of the questions that was asked was why I felt city pages or city pages were important for a website. And I'm going to show you guys why. So in regards to the map section, what we do know is that Google basically indicates to us that the only way to determine local map rankings, and again, this is based on the Google Maps section, is through relevance, distance, and prominence. Distance plays a major role. So for instance, if you are in a city that is outside of the, let's say, the major metropolitan city of that particular city or state metro area, and you wanted to score in that area, it may be very difficult to get in there because basically Google says that your distance is typically somewhere between 5 and 10 mile radius. Let's use 7 as an average. A lot has to do with competition. So I'll give you an example of this. This is a Google Map listing, and let's say that this person wants to score in Atlanta. You can see here that this is a 7 mile radius from where they're physically located, which is in Duluth, Georgia. So Atlanta is way down here, Marietta is way over here, and we know that this is the major hub of a lot of corporations and businesses, right? So how do we get these people in this particular area when Google Maps may not be able to get them there? So the way that we do that, and you can also see that, the center of Atlanta from their physical office location is basically 26 miles, right? So how do we do that? So what we do is we go into your website and we actually build out pages within the site. So you have all the major services that you do: fire alarm systems, fire installation, fire inspections, fire sprinklers, fire suppression, whatever you do. And then you might be in a specific city like Duluth, Tampa, Miami, etc. But then you want to score in another city outside of your major area. You're basically not going to be able to score in this particular area. As you can see, when someone does an Atlanta search, the map comes up here. So what we do is we actually create pages within the site. As you can see that this particular pages was United Fire Atlanta, and then there's a page. So if you click into this, it goes there. Now again, this was for Atlanta fire protection. If we do that for fire sprinklers, again, we're doing SEO tactics in order for them to be here. So again, they're coming up right underneath the map section, which is a very good prominent area since they typically are outside the Atlanta market. This is how they get exposure in that marketplace. If we do fire alarms, this particular company, because their name is Fire Protection Services, they are coming up what they call a Google Knowledge Graph. So this is kudos to them on how they get that. But again, this is in Atlanta, so they're getting a lot. But if you can see here, this particular company, again, Atlanta, there's a page specific to this particular page, and it comes high within the search engine. Now we're going to take this to another area. This is another location that they have, which is outside, which is in the Largo, St. Petersburg area. And again, this is basically each one of these dots is what we call nodes, right? So there's a mile distance from here to here to here to here. So, and these are 13 by 13. So from this distance here to this distance here is basically about a 7 mile radius. Now, if they're trying to get into downtown Tampa or any of the major metropolitan area of Tampa, the map section may not be possible because of distance and proximity of that. So again, we have to go in here, and you can see here that in this particular instance, they're 15.4 miles away from the center of Tampa based on their location. So what we have to do again is come in here, and when we do a Tampa search, you can see the center of Tampa being pulled up, okay? And then basically, they're right here underneath the map section. Sometimes it's very hard, and it just depends on the relevance, right? As we talked about relevance of a particular site. Government sites will always outrank. So you can see fire rescue, which is probably not necessarily in this particular profession, but because they're a government type website, it probably has a huge amount of authority. So it ranks very well under there. But if we go under here, under Tampa fire sprinklers, you can see here, these are some companies that show up in the map. Again, this is all of Tampa. So then you basically have a fire sprinklers page here, and then they have another page within the fire protection services, and then fire alarm systems. Again, you can see here in Tampa itself, there's a lot of security alarm companies, but again, In order to get into that, we have to create a page specifically to what that person may search, and then do optimization to kind of get them in relevance so people can see them, so they'll click into their site and get more traffic. I hope that explains why we do service area pages or city pages specifically to a product or service. It is basically to help you get business or get exposure and visibility and outside of your core major city into another major city that you may do business. Thank you for your time. Look forward to working with you guys in the future.